Now that we've found fish, let's tighten up the noose. Let's set up our houses here in this spot of holes. There's times you could just hunker down and the fish just keep coming through.
There he is. Now that's what we like to call a jumbo perch. One of the biggest keys to consistently catching walleyes in the winter is location. And today, Brian Brosdell and I are going to look at locational strategies for winter walleyes. Bro, what can we expect out of this?
Oh, I think we're going to see some big walleyes. You know, they come through just like big bucks. You just got to stay in your stand and get ready for them. You know, just when your guard's down, that's when the fish come through. So you'll be looking the other way and your rod will just rip right down. So the best thing you can do, be ready.
When you think of typical walleye structure, you think of rock humps out in deep water, or a basin that has a rise in it, or even maybe a transition zone from like hard bottom to soft bottom. The structure Bro and I are fishing today is a little bit different. We're fishing weeds, a sandbar with weeds, and a lot of people don't realize some of the biggest walleyes in a lake are often found in weeds. We're fishing a big sandgrass weed flat, and off the end of it is cabbage. And then we got a fish on right here, right now. During winter, walleye anglers usually fish deeper edges of prominent main lake structure. But today, we're going against the grain, fishing much shallower for active fish. Food, and lots of it, is essential to finding biting walleyes. And if their food is shallow, walleyes usually are too. Whoa. The spot we're fishing is a sand bottom ridge covered with a short carpet of sandgrass, surrounded by expansive standing cabbage weeds. When active, walleyes move shallow to feed on massive schools of perch, roaming the harder bottomed open area between the surrounding weed beds. When less active, walleyes shift back into the weeds rather than dropping down into real deep water. Spots like these often appear as subtle rises on GPS mapping units like Humminbird 788CI, which has an internal antenna for easy portability. It allows us to drive right to the general area, where we drill holes to locate hard bottom rises that create open spots or variations within the weeds. Once we find them, we drop a lure to check for the presence of active walleyes. Oh, here comes a big fish. If they're around, it usually doesn't take long to get a bite. Man, they just come in and crack this spoon.
What we're fishing here is a large sand point that comes up off the shoreline, runs through here. It's about 7 or 8 feet of water. Then it dumps into the main basin, and right before it dumps, there's cabbage. But we're fishing the crown, and this is where the fish are.
That's the hardest part about this shallow water, is getting them to come up the hole.
Got a good one?
Wow, look at the size of this beauty, huh? Now that's a nice walleye anywhere.